I liked Ted Lasso. I liked the season. I don't like the Beard standalone season. I wish the Christmas special wasn't part of the season. I wish it just came out at Christmas on Apple TV later on. I think without those two like dud weeks, they would have had me hooked and like every Friday watch it as soon as I can. But those kind of took the wind out of my sails a little, and then I just kind of watched it whenever I got around to it. So like 1 week I missed, I had to watch 2. But overall, I think it stayed like true to itself and good, and I loved it.
Yeah, I mean, I thought there could have been more chipper Ted Lasso, America's sweetheart throughout. I understand they had to go through issues with everyone this season, and I think they built themselves up for a great season 3. It is really tricky with those 2 filler episodes, which you told everyone on JJR. Like I pretty much don't count those. I mean, you almost can't. Although the Christmas episode, which I was tough on early, I ended up enjoying because it's the spirit of Ted Lasso is just so bizarre, the timing of it. I mean, that came out August 13th. The dog days of summer. Like, that was tough. So, agree with you on that. I mean, the first episode of the season, reliving that, it was just such a setup episode. Like, I know we all said that when it happened. Rainbow and the Signal, 5 and 6. I think we all liked that. The Man City ep was good. And then, yeah, they finished the season really strong. Sam's great. And yeah, I'm super excited for season 3. I think they left it in a really good spot with the new team and all of that. Nate being miserable throughout the season, that was a tough pill to swallow for the first half, but then kind of like you said, you kind of saw where it was going, what they were trying to do with it.
They paid it off for the most part.
Right, and it's what's built up to a great season 3. I mean, if I don't remember what I gave season 1. I mean, if it was a 9-9-1, or I think we did it on this show. I forget. We'd have to look it up.
Probably
season
did.
2 for me was probably a 7-1, which in the realm of a show is good, but I had Ted Lasso on such a high pedestal that where it landed that's where I got to.
Yeah, they landed it nicely, and I like that kind of every character had, for the most part, had their storyline for this season not completely wrapped up because there's a lot of setup for season 3, but in general, like everyone had like a big moment of the last episode, I guess, is the phrasing I'd be looking for. And in hindsight, I like a lot of the Nate stuff as a storyline thing more now than while it was happening. It was kind of like out of place, but like talking about him being like mean to people and like the bad guy and stuff and taking everything the wrong way. In hindsight, it's I like that it was like a lot of that stuff was in the background. You kind of have to like think back on it. It's like, oh, if you'd look at it from Nate's perspective, that actually kind of you can see why he felt that way. But
I thought Nate's gripes were somewhat real.
I thought they were real.
Like when he says you're calling it Nate's false 9 because if it fails, it lands on me. When Nate was complaining the episode before that, if something does good, it lands on Ted. I thought it was a good gripe. Like, it's real. Like, I think Ted even had like that flicker in his eye. Like, I was kind of doing that. Fuck.
Well, I thought the whole point of that was that Ted believes in it. Like, that's what he's trying to tell Nate. Like, we're calling it Nate's false 9 because I believe in it. And that's when he asks the players and they empower it, and that's kind of Nate's confusion in all this, that, like, if Ted had pulled it and bailed on Nate, that means he didn't believe in him. But he did believe in him. That's Nate's false 9, and the guys believed in it. That was kind of cool, but Nate was missing out on the party.
One of the fan theory things I was thinking of, because Nate had already, like, you look at back on the funeral episode, he was talking to Rupert and
I thought
all
they played that a little too heavy-handed.
Yeah, like a lot of people saw that coming, but one of the fan theory things about that was that the false 9 was meant to fail. Like, he was trying to sabotage the team. So he was now upset at the end because it did work. So that's why he was like still like very mopey. I mean, he was mad about a lot of stuff and projecting a lot of issues with his father onto the coaching staff and the other players. And
I thought the looks Beard was giving, and then him doubling down that it's Nate's false nine, like after the players went with it, was maybe unconsciously, but Ted Lasso putting it on him and not like the team.
And there's just a lot of stuff throughout the season that you look back and it's like, yeah, every time they mention Nate's suit, they call it the suit Ted bought him.
Yeah.
And like every time, like he didn't get the Nespresso machine, and he early in the season, he was like, "Oh, I'll handle it." When the two players were fighting, and they laughed at him.
Yeah.
There's a bunch of those. It's like, yeah, throughout the season, if you look at it just from how Nate perceived it, nobody did anything on purpose to insult him. The laughing at him.
No one cared that he kissed someone's girlfriend and the dude didn't even care.
And he was just mad. And he was furious that Jamie just said, "Oh, I still like you."
I thought like they gave good reasons.
Yeah, it's good reasons.
I expected it was going to be like, oh, Nate's just being pissy. And then at the end, I was like, wait, he's got some gripes here.
Yeah. A lot of people just not taking him seriously, all that.
Yeah.
In there.
So one more season. I'd label this season, I'd give it the same percentage as the first season. So I think I liked it just as much. It's hard for me to stick
if
with
you
a
take
show
out
these
the
days. Take out those
the
two.
two
I'm not
that
counting those. I think like voting wise, it has the same amount of like top episodes as the first season. And there's shows I go to for humor and shows I go to for realness, and very rarely if I go to a show for realness is like the humor, like, like Always Sunny and Seinfeld are hilarious, but there's no heart and no realness to it.
Right.
So like if you, after season one, you were like, well, it's going to get a little less funny, but they're going to do more of like the wholesome, serious dealing with issues. They'll be like, yeah, do that. That's the money maker.
Yeah. It got so much kudos and love for balancing those two.
For blending it well.
That I think during late part of the season, they could have just blended more. And you're right, it is a tough mental hurdle to take out the two filler eps because you're just kind of like, fellas, what are we doing? But I think it's ended up setting itself up for a great season 3, which, hey, I mean, Ted Lasso wasn't going to get canceled after this season, so maybe that's
they already had it.
Maybe that's the best route to go with it.
They had game plan for 3 seasons, right?
Yeah, they wrote a 3-season arc from the start. And like Roy and Keely don't like belong together right now. So I fully like they have me like he's looking to settle down and she's looking to grow. So they kind of opened my eyes to that as well. I was like, yeah. They're not like supposed to be together right now.
Talk to the teacher for 3 hours.
I don't know why.
It's a pretty good scene.
And like Jamie Tart, the development on him is so drastic, but they made it believable. And you're almost like they redeemed him. That's hard to do.
Yeah,
it does happen very quick, but
like it wasn't every episode. It was kind of like sprinkled, and there was like some back, and then there was like 2 or 3 heavy episodes on it. Yeah,
well, and that is probably another angle where I get skewed on like anytime they're doing actual soccer stuff, I'm gonna enjoy that because I think that. I don't know. I guess I'd relate more to that, and that's something I enjoy. That, like, that's kind of the beauty of sports and what made it believable with the Jamie Tart, like, when he originally is with Sam and all that stuff. Like, yeah, that's how, like, that really works in sports. Like, you can become one of the guys. You got to put yourself aside. So, yeah, it's going to be, Jamie Tart, he's awesome. More Higgins always,
Higgins had a funny line in the
Need
finale.
more Higgins.
What was his? Oh, I think it was my one big laugh in the finale.
Oh.
When he's in the window, or is it somewhere else?
Fuck.
I forget his specific name from there. But another Nate slight was they just like volunteered his office to be shared with Higgins when Higgins got kicked out again. But
I'm thinking on it and I can't figure it out. But there was a funny Higgins line.
Higgins is the GOAT.
I don't know. I don't think this is what you were just Roy thinking Diamond Dogs is cool once he like tried it out.
Yeah.
Oh, you guys don't have to like solve problems. You can just
It was the
about.
first Diamond Dogs meeting in a minute.
Yeah.
You know?
And it was also like Ted took that from when he was part of the girls' talk, where it's like, oh, you guys don't have to like solve the issue. You
Yeah.
can just talk it out. So then he made that part of Diamond Dogs.
Yeah.
So that's all fun stuff.
Pissed me off.
PMO.
Can't think of it.